What's up, everybody? We're back at it again with another video.
I'm Alex Tramosi. I'm the founder of Acquisition.com. It's a portfolio of companies. Millions of dollars in revenue per year in aggregate. And a lot of my success in business has come from finding and exploiting unfair advantages. So hopefully this video helps you do the same. So let's start with number one. Pain is the price of progress. The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want to progress, get used to pain. If you think about what actually occurs when you grow, you stretch past your point of comfort. So even if you're growing,
Past your point of comfort, past of being uncomfortable, past of passing whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to say, whatever it is you want to act, whatever it is you want to do. Because without those three things, comfort and security and efficiency, and those three things, only you know where this life will lead, and only you know where this thing will go. And through this, we will never know where this life will lead us to, which is the best part about the unknown and the void.
muscle, like you stretch it, you break it down, it's painful. If you have growing pains, like as a kid, it's like you grew too fast and your joints are in a lot of pain. If you're a company and you expand, this is technically supposed to be good stuff, but it doesn't make it any less painful. Elite athletes don't get stronger during easy workouts. If we want progress, we must accept the price of pain that's attached to it. You cannot both want progress and live an easy life. These two things conflict. Number two, happy but not satisfied. So let me explain this. So you're allowed to be happy before you hit your goal, just not satisfied. And so there's a very big difference between being content with your life, content with your work, and complacent, meaning you're not going to take any more action. There's this great Haitian proverb, which is behind mountains are more mountains. It's kind of like after every peak, you can just see more peaks ahead of you. The work works on you more than you work on it.
The work works more on you than you work on it. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're stating, whatever it is you're acting, whatever it is you're believing on, the work is what needs to be done. And if it's not done, you'll be waiting and waiting and waiting until it gets done. And you are only satisfied with the amount of work that you get done within a day.
For me, I remember I had a year that I basically went into retirement trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And the thesis that I came out with was that hard work is the goal. And so the fact that there's something that happens as a result of hard work is really just a secondary effect. It's a consequence. But the goal is the work itself. I had a friend this morning who messaged me and they're like, why do you still work? And I was like, because it's the thing that I enjoy doing most. And when I looked back on my life, when I didn't work, I was bored and felt depressed. And when I do work, I am stressed, but I do have moments that I really enjoy as well.
I'm the same way. I would rather be continually working, continually doing something to keep me busy, because if not, I'll be bored, I'll be stressed, I'll be depressed. So me and Hamosi are in the same boat.
Took this as a kind of a foundational truth for me, not for everyone, that there is misery on both sides, so I might as well be productive and useful. And the only way to be productive and useful is to be happy about the process, but not satisfied, so you can continue to provide value to the world. Now, number three, ignore critics. Now, this is probably easy to say, hard to do. So let me break this down a little bit more. So, friendly reminder that most people are fat, poor, pansies. Don't listen to them when they try to deter you from doing whatever it takes to succeed.
Because if you don't listen to them, you will have the vision, you have the dream, you have the opportunity to make your life way better than what it truly is. So don't listen to them, because half of them don't even know what the fuck they're saying.
If you want to be extraordinary, you will do things that an ordinary person would see as extra, right?
Because if you don't do something that's extra, there's no point to put out the work, the effort, the undiable laborance, or whatever it's called, to your life. And within this, you may never know where this life will lead you to, which is the best part about life.
So a lot of people, and this is the really hard part that I had to come to terms with, is that a lot of people want to see you fail because it justifies the risk that they chose not to take. We always have to think about listening to the people who are closest to our goals, not closest to us. And if you want a more violent version of this, your critics are going to eventually die. And their opinion isn't going to matter then, which means it probably also doesn't matter now. So might as well do what you wanted to do originally. Number 4, selective productivity. Productivity comes from all the things that you choose not to do. I'm going to define 2 more terms for you because I think it's important. I see commitment as the elimination of alternatives.
Commitment is being the elimination of all alternatives. If you commit, commit fully. Don't commit half, commit fully, because if you commit fully, you'll have the best dream. The best dream, the best opportunity, the best belief, because without this, you may never know where this commitment will lead to, which is the best part about life, within life, because you may never know where this
So if I get married, then I eliminate all alternatives to the person that I'm married to, right? That is commitment, right? Which is very similar to focus. Focus, if you think of the hypothetical extreme of focus, is that somebody does literally nothing but one thing. So they don't eat, they don't sleep, they would eventually die, but they would be 100% focused during the time that they were alive, right?
And when they do that, they lock in. And through this, you never know where this life will lead you to if you don't focus or if you don't lock in, because if you don't lock in, other people will accomplish their dreams before you ever do. So do not allow other people to accomplish their dreams before you do. Accomplish your dreams before they do, and do more work so it's more leverage for you to have more leverage at the end of the day, because that's all that matters.
Obviously, we have to put a couple of things in. You have to eat food, you have to sleep, right? But the most focused person does the fewest things outside of the thing they're focused on. Focus is about the number of things that you say no to.
Number of things you say no to, the number of repetitions you say yes to, the number of things you are saying no to versus saying yes to. Because saying no is easier than saying yes.
Having this framework is, in my opinion, more powerful for productivity than just about anything else, right? People are always trying to figure out like productivity hacks, but they want to add things to their lives to become more productive, which is completely counter to what focus even means. It's getting rid of everything that's not the thing is how you focus.
Getting rid of the thing, and that's how you focus. Because if you don't lock in, other people will beat you to that goal. When other people beat you to that goal, other people will put more effort, put more energy, put more endurance into whatever it is they're doing.
Now, part of that also means environmentally, right? So if you like have a window that you look outside of and you've got people who walk past your office and people can knock on the door and you've got Slack notifications, of course you're not focused because all of those things are not the work.
Because when those things are the work, you can do more work than what is truly needed to be done. And through that, you may know what needs to be done and what needs to be stated.
So I'm going to give you an analogy here. So imagine there's a wall that you have to get over, all right? You have to get a critical mass to get above this wall, right? And so you start putting up, these ladders against the wall to try and climb over the wall. All right, this should make some sense. But as you try to build up the little rungs of the ladder, so you put 4 rungs up. Well, you're not going to get the critical mass required to get over the hump to actually get the success you want. But the idea, the fallacy is that, oh, I'll just do all 3 or 4 of these things and I'll see which one works. When the reality is that any of them work, but none of them will work unless you work on one. And so we have to take these 4 rungs that we're able to build and say, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to put that rung here because I'm going to take that time that I'm putting for my second opportunity and put it here. I'm going to take this rung and put it right here. And then I'm going to take this rung, and what do you know? I can get over this hump on top, and I can get to the other side of the wall, which of course is where all the money and all the happiness and all the, the girls with, beautiful, beautiful hair. Look at this beautiful hair, right? This beautiful hair. Now she looks like a bug. Anyways, there you go. What's crazy is that this literally happens at all levels of business. Like people who are starting out, trying to start 5 things, people who are like their 2nd or 5th year. I talked to a guy last night who has a really good business, really good margin, 50% margins, has great revenue retention. He was in cyber security. People stay with him, people pay. He has no problem getting customers. He has no problem delivering on them. I was like, what's the problem? He's like, me. He said, I get bored. He's like, I just want to start more things. And I'm like, yeah, you got to stop that. It's like, the thing is think about how much more successful you'd be. So zoom all the way out. Think of somebody who gets better every single year and works on the same project for 20 years. You'd be like, my God, that guy's probably really fucking good. And
when you work on something for that amount of repetitions, then you know how good you can truly get.
what's interesting about this is that it doesn't matter what project the person works on. You do 20 years of reps and you do nothing else, you're gonna be good. And so if you know that that's a fact, that's a certainty, that you're going to be good with 20 years of practice, then the objective is to just get 20 years of practice in one thing and stick with it. So like, your plans aren't working because the plans are wrong. The plans aren't working because you're not working on the plan. The hard part about the plan is not creating the plan or even following the plan, it's sticking with the plan.
And when you stick with the plan, you have to stick with it for the next however many years. Because if you change up the cycle, change up the thing, then you may never know where this life will lead you to.
That's the hard part. All right, number 5, fear.
Could you use up to $800? Find it at BioLife. Up to $800 is waiting for you.
Versus regret. So change is scary, but so is regret. And so the life you live depends on the one you fear most. The more successful version of yourself also has fear. It's just
the most successful version of yourself also has fear. Everybody has fear. It just depends on how you define your fear.
That your fear of regret is greater than your fear of rejection.
Your fear of regret is greater than your fear of rejection because you know what regret feels like because you've had to deal with it. Same thing with rejection. You know how to deal with it.
Think about that for a second. I'm gonna say it one more time. Your fear of regret must supersede, must be bigger, must be greater than.
Your fear of regret must be supersede and bigger because must be greater than this because of course if your fear of regret is the fear of manipulation or the fear of not doing the things you want to do, that is what fear does. It pushes us to our limits, pushes us to our shortcomings, pushes us to our pitfalls.
Your fear of rejection. And so I remember when I quit my management consulting job, which took me 6 months. So I'm not saying this from a pedestal. It took me 6 months. I decided I wanted to quit. It took me 6 months before I actually quit. By the way, you can measure how powerful someone is by the distance between when they make a decision and when it happens in reality. So if you want to feel impotent, then take as long as you possibly can between when you make a decision and when you act on that decision. Now for me, it was 6 months. And all I did was I called my friends up every night. I was like, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna start a business. And we talk every night, literally every night. And I would be pacing in my condo like, I'm gonna do it. And I wouldn't do it. I was too afraid. I was too much of a scaredy cat. But the thing that got me over the hump was this. Number 1, I knew that when I looked back on my life,
I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, stay you. Peace.